Good morning, y'all. Blake Muller here. This is Muller's on the Move with a travel healthcare family. This is my wife, Paige. She's a nurse practitioner, turned homeschooling full time, not stay at home mom, but side hustling homeschooling mom who she has the hard job. I have the easy job, finding places to work around this entire country and just keeping it all together.
You think one day we can not do the intro?
I hope so. Maybe have a computer do our intro. That'd be real cool. We're here today.
Maybe we'll get enough listeners that we don't have to introduce ourselves.
Just,
We have a life update.
Life update, shoot the breeze, if you will. Just for all you loyal followers that we have, we know there's a lot.
Hey, we don't know how many we have.
But hey, we're here. We just had a great podcast just the other day with our health insurance agent. And,
that episode will be coming out within the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Another way to turn your dreams into reality. Health insurance coverage, which y'all know we have needed recently.
So our biggest life update is that we'll soon be heading up back to Louisiana to our home and just regrouping, resettling, see what that does for us. And I'll still be doing locums around Louisiana.
He's at our door.
Still across the country as well. But yeah, we're going to see how that works for us.
Go see what this man is doing. So here's the problem with recording at our house. We just had a man drive up and he is selling meat and seafood out of his truck and Blake Muller is about to buy some. So I'll give y'all a little bit of a other life update while we wait for Blake to make his seafood purchase. We, since November, have had some kind of crazy virus, followed by flu B, followed by flu A. And so as y'all know, not everybody gets it at the same time. And with 3 kids, it trickles down. And then, of course, we get it too. So the flu around here lasts 7 to 14 days per round. And so between November, 2 weeks at a time, everybody's been sick, and then we get a little bit of a week break, and then it just all started over again. So thankfully, because we homeschool, it has not affected our attendance. What we have done is just, if the girls feel well enough, they do their computer, we read their books, do their curriculum, and if they don't, I simply just let them rest, and then we can catch it up on a weekend, on an evening that, we've already just double our lessons. I also homeschooled through the summer because this past summer we took some weeks off and it was an absolute disaster trying to get them back in the swing of things. So, and also it kind of fills my days, keeps us on a schedule over the summer. So we will just extend their curriculum. We have a lot of vacations coming up and I don't make them do a whole lot when we're traveling because we just incorporate travel into our lessons as well. And we feel like that's just a bigger experience than worrying about meeting a deadline that they don't have to actually meet for a school curriculum. So recently we got to spend a week with my parents up in Granby, which is about 30 minutes past Winter Park here in Colorado. And we rented a house up there. We got to go snowmobiling. We went with Grand Adventure. And while I wasn't overly impressed with some of the employees there, I was very, very impressed with, one, the quality of the snowmobiles. They were so easy to drive, and I felt very safe with the kids on them. And the trails we went on were groomed. We passed through a little tiny section of Rocky Mountain National Park and then into Arapahoe National Forest. So I'm assuming that the National Park Association or whatever keeps those trails groomed because they were beautiful. They were wide. They were clean. They were extremely safe. So if you're looking for family-friendly snowmobiling, Grand Adventures in Granby, Colorado was great. They had a forest fire a couple years ago, so the trees were burned, but the trails are so beautiful. We had a great time, easy to drive. We had my 4-year-old and my 70-year-old mom. And so all in between, all ages, we had a great time. And then most of y'all know we have been skiing Winter Park this year. It's our kids' first time skiing. And I didn't want to get the Icon Pass, which sounds great in theory, to go to the different mountains. But I didn't want to get the Icon Pass where we had to reorient them to new mountains every time we went. So we chose to do Winter Park Season Pass. Welcome back to the pod. Did you buy anything?
Didn't buy anything, guys.
No.
You had to buy the whole case, and it just wasn't very good.
Well, we're leaving in a month. We can't pack all that. So we chose to do Winter Park Season Pass so that the kids were used to one mountain, one set of lifts. It's easy access. And then my cousin is working there. So benefit, we get to see her. So as we just said, we are heading back to Louisiana next month.
Yes, indeed.
And all the mixed emotions. We have now been on the road for 3 years. This will be our 10th move. And we have actually gone home twice for short stints. One time was 6 weeks and one time was 3 months. So we have actually been home, but after life on the road for 3 years, some of us are ready to settle and regroup, and we just don't even know what that looks like right now. So while we will have a home base and we will be in our home, life will still look probably different than the traditional expectations of society again.
And work still, as a locum CRNA, work is, in my opinion, nationwide is still pretty. There's a still dire need and a large need in almost every state. And although I feel like hourly wages and all are around about the same as they've been for a little while.
Or going down even a little bit.
I would say just settling in, plateau. I wouldn't say going down, plateauing. But there's still, the supply is still less than the demand. So it's still a stressful deal it can be very stressful as a locum provider of just finding work. You're always you don't want to shortchange yourself. You don't want to go work, necessarily want to go work somewhere for $50 an hour less than another place. So you're constantly having to just network and talk with different companies, talk with agencies, and try to find the right deals. Sometimes you got to think about commuting, and you may have to commute an hour, hour and a half. But then if you work a 24-hour shift there, it's not as bad. But I certainly wouldn't want to do that 5 days a week. I do think commuting can really put a
you should have prefaced this with you were still going to be working locums.
Oh, I did say that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I am still going to be a locum CRNA in Louisiana.
And other states.
Yeah. So not only am I already credentialed a bazillion places, that I'm getting credentialed to even more places. And I'm just going to work around home and work close to home. And then every maybe 6 weeks or so, go travel for a week and knock a lot of hours out at an increased hourly rate at other places across the country, and then which will then give me more time off back home too when I'm not doing that.
Which triggered the controversy is people have strong opinions, and I don't disagree with some of them, about locums working locally.
Yeah.
And while our situation is, I don't agree with somebody living in an area and working PRN or whatever at one specific hospital for years on end. Not PRN. I should not have said that. Sorry. Working locum pay at one hospital to cover a thing instead of just working for them. But in our situation, we do not know what 6 months or a year from now looks like. So it would not benefit us for you to get an actual full-time job.
No.
In Louisiana, because we're not sure, will we get back on the road? Will we not?
Yeah.
Will we just do a couple months here and a couple months there? So for us, our story is still to be determined.
And the market's wide open with still wide open with supply and demand, where you can still be a 1099 local in most places, which is you're all set up as our own company. I'm an S corp, and as an independent contractor, it's a lot of advantages here. So it's very nice that we can still have this ability and not have to go. Not that there's anything wrong with being a W-2 working for an anesthesia group or a hospital, but at this point, it's more advantageous for me and my family to be the way we're set up now as a locum CRNA 1099 independent contractor.
So our house will no longer be rented out, which we're excited about.
Yeah, excited to be in having our own things, own bed.
Our own bed. Let the girls actually like decorate a room.
Yeah. Although they do that everywhere we go, but
make it their own real decorations. But still, the uncertainty of
it's stressful to think about.
Yeah,
sometimes.
And I'm having mixed emotions now because the weather is beautiful in Colorado.
And I'm about to go. We're hopefully going to go to the golf range in a little bit, all of us together.
But then we're going, to Winter Park to go back skiing on Monday. So it's like
snowing.
Yeah, snowing on Monday and Tuesday. So we are now back in like the beautiful weather and able to go do some of the.
We wore shorts yesterday. You shall see how
I have a little bit of a sunburn. But we are finally going, able to go do some of the things we haven't got to do because of the snow and the weather. And so now I'm kind of getting sad to leave with all the things. But for schooling, we are still, that's to be determined. We have one kid who strongly does not want to go to traditional school. She enjoys homeschooling and she wants to continue homeschooling. And then we have another who really strongly wanted to go back to school and now is telling me she wants to continue to homeschool. So she kind of flip-flops what she wants to do. And we do have some connections in Watson of people who homeschool. So I feel like I would have some more support or people I could, lean on or piggyback with to do some homeschooling activities. But there's not a lot of homeschooling co-ops, I guess, or like through establishments like here where we've, or different places where we've done through the zoo or the nature center or an art studio. We just don't have that readily accessible in our small town. So we are not sure what's going to happen with school yet, which,
Mama Bear probably needs a little break.
Probably need a break. But I do, now that the kids are getting older and a little more independent, it's becoming a little easier. And we're also going to have more help there. So that one is to be determined. So we are still going to be on the move. It's just going to look a lot different. It'll look more like vacations or traveling to see Blake doing locums. I am hoping to get back in injecting as a nurse practitioner, doing aesthetics a little bit.
This is an overload here. We got all kind of things going on.
So much. Well, everybody's going to have so many questions when we drop the ball that we're coming home. They're going to assume that we're just, we hang it up and we got tired of traveling. And that is far from the truth. Yes. Honestly, we thought we would have like fallen in love somewhere and maybe, considered a second home or trying to figure out how to make it work. And I think I can speak for both of us, that this has been our favorite town that we lived in, our favorite city here in Castle Rock, Colorado, because it's still a small town feel, even though it's got 60, 90,000 people. How many people are here?
Less than 100, but it's like 80.
But it still feels like a small town, and you have all the conveniences and the best food we've had without having to travel into a bigger city. And we're still really close to, obviously, a lot of things.
Extremely awesome schools. And although we don't have our kids in school. But
our neighbors do. But so, I don't know. It's getting expensive, though, to rent, to vacation, on top of renting. Daycares are pricier. Cost of living is pricier. And so Blake has had to work more than I wanted him to keep up with some of our financials. So we're hoping to save a little bit of money when we go back and then just reevaluate life.
And it's just a beautiful career we have as a nurse anesthetist. or nurse anesthesiologist or CRNA, the three names that we have, to just be able to just have the beauty of
The flexibility,
working,
the freedom.
flexibility of working wherever you want if you can get there, if they have availability. That's my biggest tip for any new grad, any CRNA in general, is that just get your foot in the door as many places, be open to almost any and all cases, and get experience in all. Know how to do OB. That is a big help throughout.
For real.
If you can do OB, do your own epidurals.
Yeah.
And independent epidurals, spinals, and regional blocks.
That opens up a whole lot of opportunities.
I feel like I know I can work at any hospital in the country and not trying to pat my shoulder here. But
I'll do it for you.
It's just the reality. The doors open and the stars align way more, give you a lot more opportunities and flexibility when you can work anywhere.
True.
That's my 2 cents.
True statement. And we have friends. Well, you might know him. Anyway, one of my friends from high school, him and his partner are now heading to Oregon because he works remote and his partner's a CRNA. And so now they're heading to Oregon, to Portland, to work with crew. And I'm excited for them because then I start thinking about like all my little spots that we found. And now I'm ready to go back and
start thinking about Portland, Oregon, Portland, Maine. Man.
Those were some
credentialed,
gems.
Still licensed. Maybe we'll just go. I don't want to just work on a week vacation, but maybe we go work.
Yeah, but you go work and then we fly up there for a week. So you work and then we vacay.
Sounds awesome. Work vacation. Like in 2 weeks, I'm going to work in another place in Colorado, Durango, Colorado, and we're going to make a mini vacation of going there together as well.
Yep. So we'll take 2 separate cars down. It's about a 6.5 hour drive straight, but there's some really cool places along the route that we haven't gotten to do because we ran out of time before the early snowfall and the winter hit. And so we are going to follow Blake down there, or I'll follow Blake down there. We'll hit up a couple cool really spots over the course of about 5 days. And then he'll stay in Durango and I'll drive back up with the kids. Obviously, we have the option of staying down there with him if we wanted to, but we're already paying for this house. He can get a hotel room by himself for a lot cheaper than an Airbnb with all of us. And we're paying for Jude to go to daycare. And I'm about to have to pack up this whole house. And so I need that boy to go to daycare for an extra week. But yeah, the packing's about to begin. Maybe I'll do an episode on like quick tips for anybody moving or packing, because that is like a question people always ask me is, how does packing a whole house with 3 kids not stress you out? I secretly love it.
And I won't be involved in that conversation.
At all.
Anytime I try to pack stuff, I get in trouble.
Well, you don't put it in the car correctly and then I run out of room. It's like Tetris,
I'm just the muscles of the operation.
Just like put it out there and then listen.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it?
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
And yes, you don't have to pack anything except your 3 bags of clothes.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Love it. You're learning.
Yes,
it only took 10 moves.
Anything for you, dear. All right.
That's it. We gotta go. We gotta go get outside. It's beautiful. Go find the golf course and get ready to go skiing for a few days. Happy Mardi Gras to all our Louisiana folks, because this should be coming out Mardi Gras week. And then catch our episode with Adam Guzman, who is a healthcare agent, and we deep dive into all the different ways that you can stay covered, whether you're leaving your stable job with employee benefits or just a 1099 looking to travel. And check out the show notes. I'll have our links to sign up for our emails. We send out some tips, some tricks, some just different ways to benefit from traveling, like signing up for credit cards when they're running their promotions. So just ways that we save personally when we travel, and want to share those with you, turning all your dreams into reality. Till next time.
Oh yeah.